lady you marry.
Oh, Henny.
Kiniwa ya Judah.
Judah Mujata.
Joba yi dum mo.
Me kon edo wa hin.
Eyi ni kon ni awa nilo ni gbogbo.
Papa mi nyen wo bibia mi ye bia.
Emma joba lo.
Koswa dihini. Emma joba lo. Koswa dihini.
We need your glory, Lord. We need your power, Lord, to dwell among us. We can't do nothing, Lord. We empty, oh Lord, without your presence. We need your glory, Lord.
We need your glory, Lord.
We need your power, Lord.
We need your power, Lord.
To dwell among us. We empty, oh Lord. We can't do nothing, Lord, without your praise. Okay.
good evening. It's another brand new Saturday, and we are on the set of the Prophet's Wife Show. My name is Mimi Elbernard Nelson Chen, and you can call me Oluwakemi. On behalf of my team and I, we want to say God bless you and thank you for always staying tuned. Today we tackle a very serious issue, and I'm excited about this issue because this is the first time a man is sending us a letter, and it has to do with in-laws. Whether it's a father-in-law, mother, sister, auntie-in-law, that is what we talk about today. We go for a short commercial break before the man reads the letter. God bless you for staying with us.
Dear Prophet's wife, I'm a young man who has been married for barely a year now. In the course of dating my wife, I realized that my mother-in-law was always quick to let her daughter do her bidding, no matter who or what was involved. At the time, I couldn't say much because it was a mother-daughter affair. Fast forward, I'm now married to this young, beautiful lady I adore and cherish so much. But my mother-in-law's actions and demands over my wife is giving me a lot of concern. I love my wife to dress in a certain way, and we both agree that it suits her very well, and I must say, I struggle to keep my eyes off her. The issue is that my mother-in-law has an issue with it, and without regard to me, the husband, always wants to have her way with my wife by instructing her to dress the way she seems fit. For example, I love to see my wife in short hair. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, insists that with the shape of my wife's head, don't really know what shape she's seeing, my wife should never keep a short hair, and that she is my wife's mother and the only person who can tell her in the face what does not look good on her. Prophet's wife, everyone who sees my wife in her short hair loves and admires it, and people even comment that she should never keep a long hair. My mother-in-law, meanwhile, says it's a no-no. Even when my wife told her that that is what my husband loves and we both want it as part of my dressing and branding, she still insists that she does not want to see my wife keeping short hair ever again. As a husband, I think it's about time I have a discussion with my mother-in-law about this issue, knowing that prior to our marriage, she was one who spoke about the fact that we should build our house with minimal external influence from in-laws. Prophet's wife, I would like to ask yourself and your team, do you think I should have a discussion with my mother-in-law concerning this issue? How do I deal with this issue without my mother-in-law feeling disrespected by her daughter or me? Generally, how best can we deal with in-laws who seem over-possessive and always want to have their way with their children, even in marriage? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I believe you heard what the man read. And I will let my panel introduce themselves to you. From my right, I have Iraja. Let you introduce yourself to me. Thank you.
And my name is Dr. Safako Julius Blue.
I'm Vincent Bannerman.
I'm Samuel Odonko. And I'm Vera Bannerman.
All right, thank you guys. God bless you for coming. We talk about in-laws. In my opinion, I believe that a lot of marriages have gone through divorce, not because the spouses of these people cheated or did anything wrong, but just because they weren't on the same page as their in-laws. It could be from the mother, father, sister, just anybody at all. So I'll leave it to my panel to discuss. I start with Professor Samuel Odonko. He's going to talk to us about what he thinks about the topic on board.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, the first time I read this discussion, this issue, the first question I asked myself is that, is this in-law a witch or what? I don't understand you, what you want in your daughter's marriage. When your daughter was not married, you had the opportunity to dictate to your daughter. Now she's married. Now, let me start by quoting a scripture in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. The Bible says, therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Now, the man and the wife will become one flesh. Not the man and the mother-in-law plus the wife will become one flesh. So what the woman or the mother-in-law is doing is a sign of witchcraft. Why should you go to somebody's house and instruct the wife of this person how to dress and how to put on? I mean, she's no longer a child again. So I don't see the reason why this mother-in-law should go there and then determine what her daughter must, how she must dress, how she must look, and all that. I mean, I will also advise the man not to approach the mother-in-law by going to the mother-in-law to just caution her of what the man should advise the wife, talk to the wife, and tell the wife that she should go and tell the mother that I don't like what she's doing. Now, if the mother or if the daughter, if the wife is not able to do that, then they should get a man of God so that the man of God can intervene on their behalf. Now, after the man of God has done that, and the woman still is not, adhering to caution, then the man will warn the wife, the mother-in-law, that don't interfere in my marriage, because the Bible says in Mark chapter 10. When you say warn,
talk to her or warn?
Well, maybe talk to her, because maybe talk to her. Because if I have asked my wife to talk to you, now, in the first place, the woman does not even respect the daughter. The woman does not respect the daughter. And so if my wife has come to talk to you and you will not listen, we have brought a man of God in and you will not listen to the man of God. Now it is, if you don't even listen to a man of God, then will you even listen to me? So if I say one, maybe I've used a harsh word. But you should talk to the mother-in-law to stay clear out of their marriage. Because the Bible says in Mark chapter 10 verse 9, therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate them. Let no one. What the woman is doing, she's trying to bring separation. This is what the man does not want. And so if I have married my wife, and you see somewhere you come and interfere in my marriage, you are now telling my wife, very soon you tell my wife the kind of food she should cook. Very soon you are going to tell my wife the kind of things she should do for me in the bedroom, which is very bad. And,
okay, so have you thought of the fact that maybe before this woman, because they said they barely married for a year. Okay. Before they got married, maybe they were that close.
With the mother?
Yes. And the mother might have forgotten the fact that she doesn't have a hand, like she doesn't have that upper hand again. It's left to the man to, take some of these decisions. You have something to say?
Yeah. As always.
Well.
So, yes, you're quite harsh. Because, on this panel, there are mothers, there are wives here, husbands here. But I think we all empathize with the man. Because marriage is meant to be a holy, sacred place. It's a union between the man, the woman, and God. And it should be kept sacred. So you shouldn't allow anybody in. And anything that you do against your spouse, you're doing against God. So you can talk to the man. The man can talk to the woman, but it needs to be in a
not a military way.
Not in a military way. Not in a military. But I think if at all times they remember the covenant of marriage and what a biblical marriage is, it should be an easier way to digest.
Okay, Mrs. Bala.
Yeah, I think this is very delicate, as Mommy you said earlier. Sometimes the mother, as in the mother-in-law, when they take it in a way that this is a child or someone I've trained up, in fact, first giving birth to, trained up, raised her to a certain point, or him to a certain point, that had made you got attracted to him in the first place, for you to get hooked to him or for you to get married to him. Sometimes they still think you are still the child or the person who was still in his or her home. I'm saying this because like in-laws and then spouses, so it could be the wife or the husband. So sometimes they are still, this attachment still come. But then we also, not that we're standing, you have to also note that you are this same woman or this same father that at a point in time you are even praying or wishing someone should come and take this child out from your house. And I think even if you were praying, you were also praying that he or she gets hooked to a very good spouse. And this is the time that the lady is out of your home. So in as much as you were wishing or wanting him or her to come out, you have to know that in the process of living and cleaving, this cleaving comes to become one flesh, meaning unity. And this is a unity that you can't compromise with a relationship with friends or relatives. Because when you become one, one is one. And the mother-in-law should know that when someone becomes one, it's possible they might even think the same. Just as that the man said, this is the kind of dressing I want her to dress. And it's not that he was imposing on her. He said that they both agreed and they realized that it suits her. So you, the mother-in-law, so far as it's something that is getting the person so exposed, or if you are even a Christian, not going against your principles or your values, and it's something, not even thinking about how others even look at you. Look or think about that. You, the two of you, this is what you think is suits. Okay. So for me, the mother-in-law should become, the lady should go to the mother-in-law, the man should talk to her, and then speak to her. In the speaking to is very critical, the way you communicate, because this is a woman who has trained you. Probably it could be single parents, or even if both. He has taken care of you probably through school, even if not through school, you've earned something. So how you communicate so that it will not be like closing the door. And then from the beginning, the guy he always find out doing his or her bidding, no matter what. So it could be that barely a year, what have they been discussing with her? Have they still been going back to her or soliciting for her views in some issues? That is when it allows, or that is when you open your marriage to your in-laws. So you have to be careful how you open, and not like closing it as closing, because definitely there are some times you might need advice, especially because they have experience. Just as Jethro visited Moses, his son-in-law, and then observed what he was doing and advised him rightly. You know, he had been in the ministry, so he had experience. So it wouldn't be like you are closing or shutting them. But then you have to be careful how to open your doors, how to discuss issues with your in-laws. The moment you open so wide, that is when they can come in and dictate for you anyhow and anyway. So yes, the lady should go. She can even present it. So, mommy, in case my husband lands in another lady's hand, how will you feel? The way the mother will react, you can start from there. So this is it. This is what my husband and I want. In a process of cleaving, we might be agreeing on some principles that might not suit you. But so far as it's not going against our Christian principles, you should allow us. I think you should take that first.
Yeah. I think that, first of all, you know, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12 says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. And when the Bible talks of children, it's not talking about toddlers. It's talking about anybody who has a parent. So far as the advice that your parent is giving you does not go contrary to the word of God, you must obey it. Okay, so now talking about marriage, I think that in a marriage, for a woman, your dressing should first please the Lord. A Christian woman, your dressing should first please the Lord. And then your second priority is your husband. Is my husband okay with what I am wearing? Is my husband okay with the way I am dressing? If he is, then I think you are sorted. So the mother-in-law should understand that a woman must dress to please her husband and not her mother. It was the woman's father who held her hand and handed the lady over to this man. And the moment he did that on behalf of both the wife and then the family. So from there, your authority shifted to somebody else. So she must realize that she no longer has authority over the wife, though in certain issues concerning life, they may need her. At this moment, once it is not going contrary to the word of God, she should just allow them to be. And I think that the wife, the one whose mother is at fault here, should be the one who will speak to her her mother first.
To say that maybe, just maybe, because from the beginning the man showed respect to the woman is taking advantage of that.
It could be. It could be. You know, some parents are like that. They have become so used to having their children around and having their way with them that when they marry, they still feel that, hey, you are married, but still you are my child. You must. And maybe the husband showed a little too much humility.
Because you know, some women are so controlling,
yes,
that they don't mind wherever they go. They want to take their, you know, controlling things, like they want to control everybody. So even when their daughter or their son gets married, they forget the fact that this is a new person.
Yeah, so that's why she must be spoken to, for her to realize that I'm no longer under your canopy. So can I now do what the person who is sheltering me wants me to do? When I was living in your house, then I am obliged to obey your instructions. But I'm no longer living under your covering. The one who is covering me wants me to do this, so allow me to do it. I think it's a very simple issue that can be handled by just the lady and
I don't think it's that simple, because if it was to be simple, the woman would have spoken to the mother long ago. Okay, it's not that simple. I'm sure the lady have spoken with the mom, but the mom wouldn't take it. Maybe that's why the husband wants to do the, you know, talking. Dr. Sefako, would you suggest that we keep our, like you keep your in-law at an arm length, or you'd rather like you give them, because I feel like maybe the woman is too close.
Yeah.
Because
I think that
I'm coming, maybe because she's too close, she's becoming familiar with the husband, the daughter's husband, because I don't see why you should leave your husband at home. The man stated that even when they were getting married, the woman advised the daughter to listen to everything that her husband would do. What?
Yes, they should leave in-laws out. Yes,
and leave other people, like third parties, out of their, you know, their marriage. So why would she forget about that? And
the issue, the issue at hand is that in-laws issue are very delicate issue.
Okay.
You must understand that when the Bible says that you leave to enclave, it's talking about the very hard thing to do. That means that you should go as far as you can from your parents, so that you can have one mind and one soul and work out your marriage together. That's what the Bible says, that Christ is the head of the family and the man is the head of the wife. So you must understand that immediately you are married, you have responsibilities to take to go with. And I want to start that this couple in question, from the time that they were dating, the issue began from when they were dating. You must understand that marriage does not only begin from when you say I do, but preparation towards marriage begins long ago. I also take from the letter that the man was possibly applauding the lady when they were dating to do the woman's bidding, because it's obvious that you didn't see anything wrong with the girl doing the mother's bidding, because you said that she is quick to let the daughter do her bidding, no matter who or what was involved. If you are dating and you don't discuss issue about in-laws, then these things will cross you by. These people have an issue of setting boundaries. When you are dating, about to marry, you must talk about how you will set the boundaries of your home. And when you marry, then you enforce the boundaries. You understand? So these people in question did not really pay attention to what the mother-in-law was doing when they were dating. And I want to also assume that possibly she was also a pivotal person organizing the wedding. So she feels like, even though people can advise you, but they forgot the advice they gave you. You must understand that when I advise you and the advice is now going against me, I won't accept it. I want to do what I really want to do. So this, the couple, the man had allowed, they have not yet set boundaries for their marriage. And they have to sit down and set them now. And you must understand that this lady is so close to the mother. Because I'm wondering where the mother has seen the haircut from. Is it on Facebook, Twitter, or where? Or they are too close, as you said. Possibly she comes into the house and leaves anytime. So one of the boundaries that you must set is that what we discuss, when you go talk to your mother about it, no matter how nice you want to be as an in-law, you cannot jump over your wife to talk to your mother-in-law first. You must allow her to use chemistry between she and the mother to talk about it, because she has not done that for a long while now. So first of all, she has to go and talk to the mother-in-law. And second, you the man have to set the boundaries in the house and enforce it. And one of the boundaries is that you don't allow your in-laws to come home unannounced. If they want to come, possibly one person, maybe the lady obviously might not have anything wrong with the mother coming or barging on them anytime, but you must set your boundary. It might not be difficult, it might not be too easy to start with, but as the mother-in-law begins to see that, hey, I was doing this, they were not complaining, all of a sudden they have boundaries, she'll start to reason. And I want to also ask that this mother-in-law, is she a single mother? Is she having a husband? Is she on retirement? Because it looks like she has a lot of work. She has an extracurricular activity here. She's so much involved in the daughter's day-to-day activity, married, that I'm sure maybe that's what is keeping her busy. So we have to look at the other aspect as well, so that when we talk to her, she will understand.
Okay, so if you just joined, please be nice to us. Just go to Facebook, YouTube, share it. You can copy the link and send it to your friends on WhatsApp, Instagram. Just invite people to watch. I believe this would help someone out there. God bless you for watching. Don't go away. Prof V, your take.
Okay, I think I want to start from the understanding as we must always have that the blessings of in-laws is something that we can't take for granted. When you are privileged to have your parents alive, I believe that there's a certain level of impact they make, even post the prayer after the wedding ceremony. So, but sometimes too, with the blessing of in-laws, let's say for instance, when your wife delivers, if your mother-in-law or your mom is around, you prefer them coming around or your wife going there, because it's better to have her helping around than the children. But sometimes these blessings also will come with interference, which you cannot do without. But how you handle those issues is what we are trying to look at. I think from the story the young man sent us, but I think I understand why Mrs. Yeboah was trying to say it's a light issue, because there are a lot of the issues raised are issues that can be dealt with, but beyond those issues, these are signs of other things that might come up that will trouble the marriage. And then there are a lot of people who have married, and these in-law issues have affected them. So I think, like I was saying, the first advice I'll give to anybody watching us who is yet to get married and start seeing signs of a domineering in-law, they don't need to take it for granted. You need to, at that point in time, the moment you start dating someone, you get to a stage where the marriage preparation has started, you must then start setting boundaries. And the boundaries you start setting is coming into agreement. Now, in this case, I don't see the daughter as someone that really fears probably standing up to the mother, because from the letter, she has spoken to the mom, but probably she'll be the type that, because sometimes some parents can be too much on you that you end up letting them have your way, so that you can also have your peace of mind out of respect, so that you can be free. But this lady is somebody who have approached the mom before. So I think in such situations, you and your beloved, before you get married, when you realize that any of your parents is getting too much involved, trying to let you know what, there are times when the two of you must come together and tell the mommy, Daddy, this is how we want our wedding to go. It is our wedding. You see, when the two of you start speaking together, you have a lot of bargaining power than when it's only one person speaking together, speaking to the person. So in that level, if you deal from there, you'll be able to get into the stage. But now, back to the letter, this is a stage where they have already found themselves into it, something that they did not deal with. And then it's barely a year, but I believe that the young man is foreseeing other things that might come in. So then, what do I tell him to do? Well, the wife had already approached the mother-in-law. So the wife going to approach the mother-in-law, I will not say it's out of the question, but at least it has been dealt with. So the next, I will not say the young man should approach the mother-in-law himself, but I would say that in this case, the young man can talk to the mother-in-law with the wife together. When the two of you speak to sometimes when it comes to the issues of in-law, if you tell your wife to do it, the husband to do it alone, most often they think that they'll think that it's your own kind of thought. But if it's something that the two of you are sitting your parents together down and telling mom, this is how we want it to go. At that point in time, it's very difficult for the mother-in-law or whoever it is to be able to still have his way. And then you speak to it in respect. You talk about how you appreciate how what they've done, but you let them know that this is our decision. If it's only the man talking to the woman or only the woman talking to the woman, they might not get anywhere. But if the two of them are sitting them down, that mommy, we thank you, we appreciate what you've done, we will still need your help. We are 1 year into marriage, we have not given birth, we give birth, want to be around, but this is how we want to run our home. If the two of them speak to her together, they'll be able to go through. Then if the father is, if it doesn't go through, the other things that we can look at. But for such issues, you deal with it first before you speak to a third person. Then from the way we're saying, I also ask myself, are they living in the same house with the mother-in-law? Because it's not insisted, but if they are living the same, even with that one, they approaching her will be able to let them get their way around. Then they must always deal with such a mother-in-law together. Always speak the same mind. Let the person know this is what we want at this point in time. And I believe that if the two of them speak together to the mom, they'll be able to go along with getting their issues correct.
Okay, so the advice to the man is for the two of them to speak with the man. Okay, so let's put this one aside. He also asked how to deal with in-laws who are possessive over their children, even when they are married.
Yeah, I believe that in dealing with such issues, depending on how domineering the person is, there will always be a bruise of ego. If you are not prepared to do that, then you might as such stay in the marriage and enjoy whatever you are going. Because as you spoke, there are people who are attached. I believe that for every parent also watching us, you must the attachment to our children start from the day, even when they are conceived. But when they are born, the attachment must be done with also detachment phase in our mind. So as I'm coming, even as I'm driving, I don't know, it just came to my mind. I know that as I said everything, I know Helzibah will marry, she will leave. I know I love, she will leave. So I have that detachment mind in them. But there are some people that they never even prepare themselves. I remember when my big sister got married, it was after she moved to the animal that I started crying that my sister is gone. They've carried my sister. So can you imagine, even me, I'm thinking that how can my sister be carried away like that, because almost like everything to us. So in dealing with issues, depending on how, these are issues that can be trashed out. But issues where your mother-in-law can come in, tell you, this is how you have to eat, this is how your children must say, there are some of them that you must speak to them in the way that probably they might feel hurt, but without doing that, you can't have your way around it. So you must really confront the issues. In all this one, the two of you must do it. If the father, if the husband is alive and he is not that type of person to you, can do. But there are some in-laws, whether father-in-law or mother-in-law, that they can be so mad that even the person they are married to cannot handle them. And in such a person, then the two of you, must take a stand. If the person even gets to a point where he feels that you are trying to push her in, as much as doing it, telling her you respect her, but such people have so much ego that they will take it as you are pushing them away. If it will let them go away, still calling them, visit them, it will shock you that some people will even stop talking to you, the couple, just because you told them that, mommy, please, don't tell us what to eat. But you must do that if that is how the person is.
Okay, I know the only thing the mother can only advise, but she can't control.
Yeah.
So in this letter, I don't know whether she was advising or controlling. Doc, you're about saying something.
Yeah, I would say there's a huge issue with communication in all respect here. I think the man isn't able to effectively communicate with the wife, and that transforms into the mother-in-law as well. And you mentioned something about egos. I think this conflict is about supremacy. Somebody wants to be supreme, and it's the husband's role to be the leader of the house, not the mother-in-law, and she's trying to push him to come in. So I think I would advise that they need to look into how you communicate with each other. So if you need to speak to one another, the person needs to feel that they've been heard, and then you can transform that to the mother-in-law. I do not think under any circumstances should the man talk to the mother-in-law. I don't think that at all. I think it's the woman's responsibility to handle that, because if she goes there, if both of them go together, automatically the mother-in-law is going to say that this is coming from your husband, because from the beginning she has never said to the woman, don't do this, don't do that. So if her behavior changes, it means that it's coming from the mother-in-law. It's coming from the husband.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and I think that will lead on to create more problems. So I think number one, they need to sort out your communication. You need to speak to one another. You need to have an open forum whereby you can discuss things without feeling as though you can't talk.
But in the letter, the man stated that the wife had already spoken to the mother.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
So
it depends on how
are they even obliged to even say anything to the mother?
Yes, so that she'll know her place. So that she'll know her place. Otherwise, she'll keep on.
There are some people that can't stand to their parents alone.
Yeah.
So what happens is that no matter how that person goes alone,
because she has already gone.
There are people that, if there are people that are married, they know that what my mother is doing or my father is doing, I don't want it. But they can get a point where the children are so attached even to their children that at a point in time they are not prepared to go against, face their wrath, to compare to facing the wrath of the husband. That is how some of the people.
There are some issues
I think
like that.
It's not just about attachment here. I think there's like misguided loyalty.
Okay.
I don't think the woman understands properly the depth of a biblical marriage, because it doesn't matter how much you're attached to your mother or your father. If you understand who your husband is to you, or what your husband is supposed to be to you, nothing that anybody will say.
But according to the letter, both the man and the woman agree that she should dress this way. So she is dressing that way.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, are they even obliged to even tell her
so
something?
that she will stop.
The issue I have here is
they are doing what they want to do, but the mother is still trying to find her way. Yes, so they have to communicate to her that.
Like for instance, our parents have had ways of raising us up. The food they fed us with. But this is the time where you grow to a point where you feel that this is the kind of food I want my children to eat. This is a case where you call your mother-in-law, whoever comes to the house, and she wants to train. And when you try to tell the person, you tell her that, what do you know? This is how I raise you up. So then in such issues, if you don't talk to them, then they are going to continue to have their way against how you want to raise your children. So it's important with such issues you speak to them. And this is how we want it to be done.
And also, I want to add that immediately you are married, your parents, whether you tell them or not, they know that everything that you are bringing out is for both of you. And you must emphatically let them know that this is coming from both of us. It is no more me. It becomes us. Because if you don't start doing that from the beginning, they now think of how to control you. Because I'm looking at what is if the lady has spoken to the mother before. What was the attitude when how did she react to? Did she say that, oh, I also like the long hair, but it's my husband who says?
Exactly.
Yeah, because maybe you start getting attitude, they want to come to your rescue.
Yeah.
Because she's a mother, she wants to come to your rescue. So the lady has to check her stand. Because if your mother can, without regard to your husband, make a command across, then there's something wrong somewhere. Then the lady in question, there's something wrong. You have to quickly say, no, mommy, that is my husband you are talking about. Because the moment you, in a polite manner, let them know that, my dear, I am now married, then, we have to come by hearing and hearing. This one too will come by hearing and hearing. The more you talk about it, the more it now sinks in. Because you should not forget that she raised it up for more than 20 years in a particular way. But if you behave as if so the point where both of them have to talk to the woman is also there. Because if the lady talk to the woman once, twice, but the woman does not regard your husband, then your husband must come in a more polite manner and come and say, oh, mommy, I think we have been saying this, in a very nice way. And I think that I can't keep my eyes off my wife when she gets like this. When you stop dressing like this, I might end up keeping my eyes off.
When she said the shape of the daughter, said, I'm like, which shape? You were in the same house with your daughter.
Yeah.
What about when she was in junior high or senior high and she had a short hair?
A short hair. So I think what they should do is to continue doing what's pleasing them.
I think it's possible that she never allowed the daughter to cut her hair. There's some parents like that.
Some secondary schools like that.
It depends on the school she went to.
The school, they won't funny.
And I also think the fact that the man even coming out to say, I even struggle to keep my eyes off her, it's even a plus. The woman should even go with this, because if you dress in a certain way that when you are out, you are feeling in your head, I'm on top of the world because this is what my husband likes. For you to be in a situation or a position where you can keep your husband to yourself alone, it should be a plus. It should even urge her to keep on doing what the husbands want and not even buy into what the mommy is going to say or is saying. For that one, I think she should she should be up and doing.
The man stated that I think the mother doesn't want her to dress in a certain way. But I am also sure that if this woman doesn't dress in that way, she dresses how the mommy wants, and later this man goes cheating on the wife because of how the woman
will come running.
I know.
Yeah, so I think that for possessive people, and we are talking about it, for over possessive people, you need to be assertive. That's it, because they feel, I'm sure that the woman is there thinking that it's her place. So I'm sure that the mother thinks, look, I know you are married, but you are still my daughter. So for such people, yes, because the person stated in the letter that the woman is saying that it is only your mother who can look at your face and tell you certain things, which is true sometimes. But for possessive people, you should be assertive. Make your stance known. Let the person know that this is where I stand, and do not compromise on it. Otherwise, once you compromise, like Dr. Sefa, then she'll begin to think that maybe your husband is even coercing you into dressing that way. She must come to your rescue. So be assertive.
So we talk about all these things. We are talking about in-laws. Apart from this letter, this man, the things he stated, there are other things that in-laws are doing that I know people are watching, and when they read the letter, maybe they were thinking, we're going to address some of these issues. People go through issues and they get divorced, not because they cheated on their spouses, but because there was no agreement between themselves and their in-laws. So I asked the question earlier, should you keep your in-law at an arm length, or you should bring them closer?
Everybody at arm length.
Okay, why would you say that?
Because
it's too short.
The arm plus the leg.
The leg.
You should keep everybody, simply because number one, not everybody has good intentions for you.
Okay.
Not everybody wants you to succeed in your marriage.
Okay.
A lot of people are ignorant of a lot of things, but then they have a lot of things to say. And you need to be able to decipher which is good and which is bad. But in the midst of a conflict, if you don't know where to turn, you might pick up things you just don't need. It just goes back to communication. If you're able to speak with your spouse, if the two of you keep your union intact at all times, anything that arises through the grace of God, the two of you should be able to sit down and talk it out and find a resolution between the two of you. The moment you tell a friend, a mother, a brother, a sister, you're bringing another soul into that union. You always have to try and keep that triangle, you, God, and God, all the time. So it's imperative to have that, that enclave, just keep it between the two of you, and as much as possible, that's my
Because this afternoon, we were talking, and I made a statement. I was like, there are situations, like, even before I got married, there was a situation where the man brought, is it a cousin or sister or something, and the guy stayed with an auntie. So the auntie has an upper hand on the guy even more than the mom, because the guy, the mom, the mother, the auntie-in-law is rich. So, like, you know, whatever she says is final. So I think the husband's cousin came to stay with them. And this woman used to like the daughter-in-law, okay? But all of a sudden, because the other girl came to stay in the house, was giving them information, giving the mom information about what happened, what happens in the house, and then auntie also starts hating on the wife. Doesn't know what went on, wouldn't ask of the side of the other person. And
I think that
I just sit
your
back and
in-law
I'm like,
shouldn't be somebody that you pick up a phone every time and be calling.
should you even stay in the same house with them?
In my, but mommy, I think this is even from the beginning. It's in the Bible how God even instituted marriage. He said leave. And leaving means leave. And then when he even says when you cleave, you become one flesh.
Exactly.
Means that there is no way for any other person
To come in.
So yes, for the they should be kept.
And it should
This for some people.
But Tom, you have something?
Yeah, I have something. Oh, say.
Okay.
If not something, I'll say the arm length is even too
Dr. Nefa said you have to add a leg to it.
Leg plus arm length.
Two legs. As Mrs. said, if the Bible says leave them, for this reason the man will leave his father and his mother and will cleave to his wife. And they shall become one flesh. It's one flesh. Now, marriage in itself has its own demons.
Yeah.
When you get married, in itself it has its own demons that will fight you. And plus, your mother-in-law's demons are also coming to fight you on itself. And so, as we have all suggested, that's what I suggested earlier on, that I believe that you should allow the wife, or my senior pastor said it, that you and your wife will go and talk to your mother-in-law politely. Or you look for a senior man of God that both of you respect.
Why is the chief executive so excited? The executive producer is so excited.
Enjoy them.
Yeah. Or both of you will go and talk to your mother-in-law, or you look for a respected man of God that both of you respect, including your mother-in-law, so that he will go and talk to your mother-in-law for you. Now, here's the point: when the respected man of God goes and talk to the mother-in-law, and now when you read the letter, I said, if I tell my wife to do a certain thing, my mother-in-law comes and said, it's a no-no.
It's a no-no.
Yeah, it's a no-no.
It's a no-no.
Easy.
She has already concluded on the thing.
Easy, man.
She's in charge of your marriage. She's in charge. I believe that she will be the one tell you, cook jollof for her, don't cook for her like cook this one. If she said it's a no-no, no short hair, no short hair, long hair, it's a no-no. But no. And so, if you have gone to talk to the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law does not still repent of what she's doing, and she then put her where she belongs. I believe that's the reason why. I believe that inside their marriage. No, I believe in some marriages, you go to some places that there are some couples who don't allow their mother-in-laws to come there, not because they have problem, but because of what their mother-in-laws have done to them. They don't allow them to come there. One of the days, my mother called me and said, Ni, you have not been coming home to visit her. I said, I'm married. I'm with my wife. I'm married with my wife. I mean, once a while, we go there to visit them. But you don't expect that it should become a norm. That every day we get up and we go to the house. And then what are we going to do? I'm there with my wife. I should be there. So if anytime we can go there, maybe one in Sabta, we go and visit. But it shouldn't become a normal thing, regular, routine. Every day we are going to my mother-in-law's house. Every day we are going to the man's mother's house. To do what? We have a family. So we should be there and then take care of our family.
I think at the whether at the arm length or at both legs, whether in-laws should stay in our house, I think it all depends on the personality of the in-laws.
Okay.
And then you to your need, and whether your need will let you contain their personality or not. When my elder sister married, we were all in Kumasi. For 3 years, my mother had never stepped foot into their house. But when she got pregnant, she came to stay with us, whichever way. It's not that she couldn't stay there. So I believe that whether the arm left, whatever, it depends on the personality. But you see, when it comes to the possessive ones, you see the signs. Now, as we are talking, we're just talking about I was just trying to bring the point that we were not trying to see. Sometimes it's not just about the mother. There are some children that before you get married to them, they are letting you know that my mother, my father is a no-go area. Whatever she says, he says is final. If you walk both eyes into such a marriage, then you must know that this is what you are going to happen. Now, in such issues, then there is more work that you need to do on the person before you marry her. If you're married to her like this one, then that because if this lady is somebody who can really have a way and then just do whatever he wants to do for herself and for family, should have done it. Because if I tell my mommy that this is what we want, this haircut I want, and then mommy said no, why should I do what mommy is saying? But she's doing it because she's the type that all her life she can't live without mommy. So then in such a situation too, the husband at this stage needs also somebody who will speak to the wife, to help the wife to come to that understanding. I've forgotten this particular movie where it had to take the pastor to speak to the wife, let you understand that your mom's influence is not what you need. You have grown, you need God's influence. So that one is something that must be taken into consideration. But the situation where both of them are on the same, both of you are on the same plane, and your mom is not getting you, getting the pastor involved also help. Let the pastor deal with the mother-in-law. Let the mother-in-law know that I am going to be in charge of this issue. Leave this one. We know sometimes people, depending on who they respect, listen to them more. So all those things too must be put in place. So if I will not have any problem if my mother-in-law want to come and stay if I need my mother not want to stay. If my mother-in-law stay in my house, because I prefer my Vanera is 1 year, I think 3 months.
1 year, 2 months.
3 months, and she's about to go to school, and I don't like it because I feel that she can go to school in when she's 2 years, she's quite stronger. So if I can get, and I don't like a maid. My wife has said, I don't like a maid. So if my mother-in-law is somebody that I can live with, why will I have a problem with her staying in my house? So it has to do with the personality of the in-laws involved. So you just can't say that every in-law can stay. No. If your in-law is good and the person will not interfere, but when the interference is coming, that is when you must know that now maybe mommy, mother-in-law, you came to help us with her child. She's 6 months, she's one now you can go home. But if your mother-in-law is somebody you can live with and then will not be somebody who interferes, I believe I don't see anything wrong with that one.
Okay, Prof. Sam? I thought you wanted to say something.
I agree with what Prophet Vincent is saying totally, because if your mother-in-law is coming to stay and she doesn't mean harm, I mean, she's well for you and she loves you and everything. Why would
is she coming to stay to do
something?
something?
But maybe if she's coming for a reason. Maybe your wife is delivered and your mother-in-law is coming to help. You know,
but apart from that, I think that's the only reason why.
Even that one, you must give them a time.
Even that one, there should be a time.
Your sister-in-law would not even call the brother, would call you to say that, oh, you know, I have this thing to do in Accra for like a month or two, and I would want to come and stay in your house. And within that 1 to 2 months, you wouldn't believe the confusion these people can cause.
Immediately they call you.
But you wouldn't know this is what this person is doing.
That's what mommy has said that before you can know the personality. This person, this issue, there's hardly any way that it might be difficult, but you might know your mother in the personality. If not a person's personality, so you see, the reason why I'm saying that we shouldn't get to a point where we build a stereotype in people's mind that mother-in-law, whoever, is at arm's length. No, don't build that stereotype. There are some people who mother-in-law are nice people.
Like my mother-in-law, for instance.
I was talking to one church member who called me and was like, I can't be in church.
You know what she said? Yeah. She's been coming anytime.
Sometimes they have so you can be very close to the person, but when the person comes to stay and sees the thing that this is what my son is doing for you, my son is doing that, and it can even change the person's perception.
That is why I said that. It depends. It depends. But majority of them. So you know that the person's how the person is. You know what to do, how to live. So not everybody will have a mother-in-law in that way.
There's no way that if somebody's living in your house, even if it's for a week, there's no way that, because there are certain things you want to keep private in your marriage, in your household. And once the person comes and lives there, even for like 3 days, you can't hide certain things. So if
an example of some of the things you can hide?
I don't know, if
the way you cook, the way you cook, you know,
I don't know, like
there's no salt, there's no
like you use too much spice.
Sometimes, like with a conflict you have with your partner, that is really, it's nothing really. But from the outside world, who don't really know the two of you, they will see it as something else and they can take it away. So, I mean, to me, I think this serves as a cautionary tale for people wanting to get married and people that are already married. It's so important to leave physically, emotionally, financially. Just cleave, you know, cleave and leave and then come together. I just, it's
But
important
you
because
can
the
leave.
issue-
You can leave.
I think we are
You
not-
can leave your parents' house. Your parents might not be staying into your house, and you are still cleave to them. So that is what I'm trying to
No,
say.
the
that
thing is,
Probably
when we say mother-in-laws, we are not talking about just the mother-in-laws coming from the men's side. We are talking about
both
both
mothers.
sides, both
Yes,
sides.
both.
in-laws.
And not
Which
just
the Bible is
mother-in-laws,
very clear.
father-in-laws,
Yes.
sisters,
Whichever-
aunties.
Every in-law can
Yes.
be domineering. Every in-law can be nice. So
Brother-in-law.
depending on the side you fall
Okay,
into.
Dr. Sabah,
so I think
Yeah,
God is
me,
wise.
I want to share my example because my example, my mom, of course, she's a single mother. But if you through medical school, she expects that she will have some upper hand on you. Then she got to realize that I'm about to get married. It wasn't an easy battle because it got to a point she would be like, hey, I'm the one who took care of you. You must also take care of me. I have to tell her that, oh, my dear, you have done your part. God will bless you for that. And it didn't end, but I persistently say it. And I always tell her that if you're coming to my house, you please call. Let me tell you whether I'm in my house. Because if you don't call, and even if I'm in the house, I'm not in the house. Because you didn't call. So I drum the issue in their head. So now anytime they want to call, they call. But let me also let you know that some of this possessive nature of mother-in-laws or your own mother, it might not be a physical thing at all. Because I have experienced some. It wasn't a physical battle. I have to be on my, because my mom is a very caring mother. How come she has changed all of a sudden? So some of these things, as Mrs. Mensah said, that at times not everybody would like your marriage to work, and some of them, even your mother-in-law or your mom, they might not know that whatever they are doing is hampering. Yes, subconsciously they don't know that whatever you are doing is actually diverting the course of your marriage. All that they are thinking is that, hey, what is actually happening is for your good. I'm sure that's why Prophet Samuel said in the beginning that she's behaving like a witch, but she might not know what is happening. It could be an external influence. Yeah. So at times, some of these possessive man, you can use all the methods that we have said, but it will not work. Because this issue can bring divorce. Yes, it will not work. In this juncture, the Holy Spirit will come in the game. You must invoke the Holy Spirit. You must pray. You must. I'm talking about the fact that you already talk to them that don't come. But they are at your gate. Yeah. They are there 24/7. You move your car, they are there. And there's no way you can see your mother and push her away. So some of these things, you have to pray about it. Yeah. At times, you may go and talk to a person, but the person will not understand. But when you pray and something is backing you, the as you are talking, Holy Ghost is working or retuning the thing. Because some of these things, Bible says we don't fight against flesh and blood. And at times, if your sister-in-law is coming to your house, Pastor, give them your boundaries. When you come here, you do house chores. You wake up and take my child to school. Do you like or you don't like? If you don't like, then don't come. If it's my husband's sister that's coming, I tell him to tell the sister, tell her that this is what is happening here. Because if you come, I'm not treating you like a king. Don't expect me that because your brother is crossing the leg in the sitting room, you come across the leg and ask to him and let me cook. And you must set the boundaries before. Yeah, you must set the boundary before she start the journey. Then she will not think for other alternatives. She cannot cope with your rules. And immediately you do that, then they have a signal. This lady, you cannot ride over her. You must give her respect. But whatever. But if
so, that goes down to where I said it means that from the beginning, the man allowed the woman to, give this woman certain things to do, like, oh, don't wear this, don't do that. So it's now that he's coming to complain.
He said in his letter that then, because she was living with the mother, he felt that it's a mother-daughter affair. I've not married the woman. No, don't let me come and start giving her instructions. Because there's even a way that these things can communicate a certain message to the mother. Hey, a man who hasn't married you and now he's giving instructions. So maybe that is how he was thinking. That, oh, maybe because I've not married her yet, she's under the control of her mother, so she must obey her parents in the Lord.
So when you start the marriage process, so like let's say if the two of you agree, we are going to use a wine color, and your mother-in-law is insisting you want to use the white color. At that point in time, you must not take it for granted. You tell her, this is what we want. If you start allowing it to continue like that, now you see, Dr. Siba's case is a case where she has her own person detached from her mom. So she can tell her mom, this is what I want to do. But there are some people that said they are not detached. They can no. You see, you see. No. You cannot. I'm not you're not attached, but you can. You could at that point in time tell your mom this is how you're going to. There are some people who can't do that, and they would need a help. Like as I said, my wife, my wife is the only daughter. Different scenario to her. That is what I'm trying to say. We should not build a stereotype. My wife's mother has never been that. No, the only child of her mom. But her mom has never given me any pressure. No. Wow. So we should be able to know that we should not stereotype the thing. We should know how to work with wisdom. So the wisdom is that know who the personality of your in-laws are. Know what you want to do at that point in time. Know that if I know that this is how my in-law is, then even if her coming over to take care of help with my wife when they give birth can bring issues, let my wife go there if that's want to help. But if the type that can come and there's no issues, there are people who can be, even if whether your mother-in-law, when you talk about privacy, whether you take a maid, your privacy will be, that privacy, you must learn how. My
some of these things can really go out of there. No, because I know of a family where they even had to go for a family meeting because the mother felt like ever since the daughter married, she has not been coming home on Saturdays to wash for the mother. And the mother was, and the girl was like, Saturdays, I wash like, for my husband. I said, yes, you can come and take my things and add it to your husband's things. And, you know what? Yes.
You need to deal with it, bring people into the
lady
issue.
was not prepared for marriage.
No, for such people, such people, it's not about the maid. No. Such people, it's not, you just, you see, for such people, it's not just about the maid coming in also. There is a certain, now you said something that your mom had been okay with you, but so when you started getting married, then you see, all those times she had been okay, but suddenly it dawns on her that the child have been with all alone, that's why I said that. For most parents, they don't start the detachment stage when the child are born. So they get to the attachment that even the day the child is going to, when you're going to marry, you're going to enjoy, but she's lying. But when you go into it, then she just realized that no. So then, where is
Okay, so now our final take on this issue. I start with you, Professor.
Well, what I think is that I will first of all start by saying that if the couple is going to do counseling, I think they should do a special 2 weeks counseling for the parent also, to know that your daughter or your son is going to get married. You don't need to step into the house. Now, God is very wise. That is why in his own infinite wisdom says that the man and the woman will cleave and they will become one flesh. Okay. They will cleave and they will become one flesh. And God did not add the mother-in-law that when they become one flesh, the mother-in-law should also come and join them to become another one flesh. And so if you are staying, God knows the reason why he didn't ask you to bring your mother-in-law. It's not God who proposed that your mother-in-law should come and take care of your children for you. Okay. Neither is God who proposed that your mother-in-law should come and handle certain things for you. Now, so when your mother-in-law is coming to do something for you, I believe that an ultimatum should be given. In 3 months, you are taking care of my child for me. After 3 months, you leave. Because in the Bible that we all refer to, we have been mandated to cleave with my wife. But here is the point: you have come and you are being interference. You are interfering in my marriage. It's not done. I will put you in your place and I will ask you, if I have to offend you, then I will offend you. Because you are dominating and you are domineering in my marriage. You are really taking care of my marriage. Very soon you will enter into my bedroom and you start asking my wife, how did it happen? Did he go this way? Did you do this? Very soon you start dictating for me. And in my morning moon wedding night, your father did this and done this. That shouldn't happen. So I believe that mother-in-law should be put in their rightful place. Thank you very much.
Maybe I'll also say that the lady should take note of this. That for a man to say, I love my wife, and then I love when she dresses like this, she shouldn't take it for granted, because it's not all husbands who will even appreciate their wife on the way they dress. So if first, yes, she's spoken to her mom first, but then probably she didn't go with all seriousness. She should go back and then become more serious. If she thinks going back it will create a problem, just as Dr. Sefako said earlier, this can be a trigger. She should just take it in prayer before she goes back and then readdress the issue, so that you have a safe marriage.
I think marriage is a covenant between you, your husband, and God. And if you have any issues, I think it's imperative that the two of you talk it together. After talking together, in regards to speaking to the mother-in-law, I think the best thing to do is the man should state clearly what his issues are with the mother-in-law. Make it clear what the problems are. If you need to spell it out, do that. And then the woman needs to convey it to the mother-in-law. Not say my husband thinks or my husband and I think. She should even go and say, you know, I like my hair short. Don't even bring the husband into it. I like my hair short. I like to dress a certain way. So this is what I want. And let the mother know it's coming from her. So once they do that, I think that will help a lot.
I also think that they should, the lady knows her mother more, and she knows over the years how to communicate issues to her. So she should find a way that appeals to her mom and speak to her conscience that, Mommy, would you be okay? How would you feel if my husband cheats on me? How would you feel if one day I come to tell you that my husband did that? And this is how my husband finds me attractive. If I start to do something else, he might not find me attractive anymore. And I think that if she speaks to the mom's conscience, it might work.
Wow, my dear, you are barely a year old in this marriage, and you have a long way to go. I think that aside telling your wife to go and talk, you must also make a statement. Let your mother-in-law knows that whatever he say a no, just a suggestion. She cannot impose the thing on you. So the more you say the no, the more you do your short hair, impose more. Along the line, she will get to see that there are boundaries set and she must respect it. And if it's not working, my dear, hold your wife's hand in prayer. Pray about these things. You might not know. She might just be sleeping and the Holy Ghost will reveal a dream to her to stop worrying people. And ask God to keep her very busy. And she accept whatever. Yeah. And my dear lady, encourage your lady to be vocal, to be able to talk on behalf of the two of you in front of her mother. Let the attitude of the mother knows that she is now married and she does the bidding of the husband now and not her own. You should not be too harsh. Be soft, be polite, but be very firm and drive your marriage to where God expects it to be.
Okay, I think that for start, everybody should learn to relate with their in-laws with understanding that they are also their parents. Yeah. Everybody learn to take your in-laws as your parents. You treat them, have that understanding there, because sometimes aside this issue, there are times where our in-laws give us suggestions because they are not our biological mothers. We think that we find issues with that. Because so if you have that mindset, we're able to cope with them also. That is one thing I advise. Then number two, if you are married in a situation where the person, your spouse, is at the period where he or she cannot detach herself from the mother, you need to start building the person's self-confidence, self-esteem. Let the person know that she's the one or he's the one you married, and then you believe in her, you love her, cherish her. Let her get to the point where psychologically, emotionally, she'll come to a point to know that she can live without the mother and help her to make the decision she can. Then if those ones are not certain situations, you must also know the personality of your in-laws. Know yourself. Set boundaries. If your siblings come to stay with you, it's going to have discuss with it. There are some of you who are married that you won't even discuss with your spouse that my sister is coming or whoever is coming, wherever she comes, you have to stay. Discuss. Let the person, if your in-law if your wife will not agree to it, then, or your spouse will not agree, please just don't go along with it. Make sure that aside everything, at the end of the day, we all form different families at a point in time aside our families that we were born into. So make sure that you prioritize your children, your safety, whatever, but know the personality of your in-laws and pray for wisdom in how to deal with them.
Okay, so finally, I want to say thank you for staying with us. But then my take on it is, I believe the man the man knows what he wants. That's why he said he really wants the wife to look this way. So, Mom, we know you love your daughter and you've loved her before the man came into the picture. But you should understand where the man is coming from. He cannot go and tell another woman to look this way for him to be happy for the woman. So kindly allow them to be happy in their marriage. And secondly, I would want to speak with anybody out there. If you're a mother or you are married and you are treating, sometimes the maltreatment comes from the women to the mother-in-laws or the men to the mother-in-laws or the in-laws. It's not only one-sided. We are always talking about mother-in-laws did this, but sometimes the daughter-in-laws also misbehave. I'm that cool with my mother-in-law. She treats me very well, and I also do say, I make sure I respect and love her, because without her or my father-in-law, I wouldn't have gotten my husband. So please, let's respect them and love them for who they are. Okay, let's respect them, because if they, I'm not sure they would intentionally do some of these things. And I also know there are other ones out there who do certain things just because they want to, you know, just make you feel certain, feel bad about yourself. But Mom, if you're out there and you're treating your daughter-in-law in a bad way, just remember that you also have a daughter who will get married to another man, and some of these things can happen to her. Thank you. God bless you for staying with us. We love you and we appreciate you. We are meeting here same time next week, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Please don't forget, tomorrow we have church service, and church starts at 8:30 a.m. to 11. You can pass by if you don't have anywhere to fellowship. And even if you do, please be my guest. I want to invite you to church. Come and let's have fun. You really enjoy it. God bless you and thank you. Bye.